Hi everyone, it's Kristen with Generation Acres Farm. I wanted to film a video all about sourdough starter. I've had quite a few questions come in about maintaining the sourdough starter after you initially get it going. So many of you have purchased a piece of my own sourdough starter. This is a little packet of dehydrated sourdough starter, which is available on our website, and it comes with a little guide on how to reactivate it and get it started. But I've had a few questions come up with these directions, as well as how to maintain it after it's active and bubbly, and then people are like, well, now what do I do with it? And they don't really know. So I figured I would make a little video, clear up some of the instructions, and tell you how to maintain it moving into the future and when you start actually using it for making breads and that sort of a thing. So first you're going to need your supplies. So whatever kind of flour you want to be feeding your starter. For me, I use an unbleached all-purpose flour, and I explain more in my course and things about why I'm okay with using that. But basically, even though I'm a big believer in freshly milled flour, I kept a fresh milled flour starter for a long time, but I found it was just too fussy to mill the flour each time I needed to feed it, and it was just getting to be too much. So it's just such a small part of the bake. So if you're making bread or whatever it is, it's just such a small bit, and it's completely like fermented, that I don't have an issue with using organic, unbleached, all-purpose flour in my starter. Sometimes I do add in a little bit of rye, fresh milled rye. I feel like that kind of just like boosts my starter when I feel like it needs it, or if I just feel like doing it. So sometimes I will add in that just a little bit, but for the most part, it's organic, unbleached, all-purpose flour that I use. So you're gonna need your flour, you're gonna need some water, preferably filtered water. You're gonna need a couple of jars. You'll need a kitchen scale, and you will need, I'm just as an example, the dehydrated starter from our website. So as I mentioned, it comes with directions here. So one of the main questions that I've been getting is some confusion on alternating between the jars. So basically what you're gonna do is get a clean jar, and then you're gonna add in the amounts it says. You're gonna add in your flour, your water, and your dehydrated starter, mix it all up, follow the directions, and then the next day, or however long it says on here, it's about every 24 hours, you're going to grab a new jar. So here's your jar filled with the starter from yesterday, and you're gonna grab a new jar, and you're gonna add your flour and your water, and you're gonna add the amount of this starter into your jar. This jar, while you're reactivating your starter or creating a starter from scratch, if that's what you're doing, you are not going to save the mixture that's in here. You're only using that small amount. How much is it? 10 grams of the starter mixture. You're taking 10 grams out, weighing it into there and mixing it, and then everything left in here gets discarded, like trashed. Not discarded as in save it for a discard recipe. I'll get into discard in just a minute, but as you're creating it, it's not quite ready to be considered sourdough discard yet that you would save and use in discard recipes. You're literally like trashing it. So then you're gonna trash it, clean this out so it's all nice and clean and ready. This is sitting out for the 24 hours, and then you're gonna do it again. So you have your clean jar, flour, water, 10 grams or whatever it is that it says in here, put it in there, trash what's in here. So you're just gonna repeat those steps with a clean jar every day until, like the directions say, it becomes active and bubbly. You're seeing it rise each time, and it starts looking really good. Now from there, we now have an active sourdough starter where if it is bubbly and rising and nice and thick, then you should be about ready to leaven your breads with it, so you can start making some of the recipes and things that are in my recipe books or in my bread course, or whatever recipes you want to make with it. And after it is active and bubbly, you can start saving the discard. So let's say, you know, the sourdough starter is active now. That's what I have here. This is my leaven. I'm gonna be making bread a little bit later today. So I have my nice active sourdough starter. So here's the thing. Sourdough starter needs to be fed if it's kept at room temperature every like 12 to 24 hours. It depends on the temperature of your kitchen. If your kitchen's really warm, it needs to be fed more often. And if it's on the cooler side, then you can get away with feeding it every 24 hours or so. If you are not going to be using it, you can store it in the fridge in a container with a lid. And it'll keep in there, and I'll usually go like a week between feedings if it's in my refrigerator, because it just slows down the process and it's not gonna go bad or anything like that. You can keep it in there, pull it out, feed it, use it if you're gonna use it, and then put whatever's left over back into your refrigerator. So hopefully that makes sense. When I am just doing a maintenance feed, meaning I'm not baking anything, I'm not making leaven, I just have my starter sitting out on the counter, and I know that it needs to be fed because it's looking kind of watery and just not very healthy. This is what I do. I will grab another jar about this size. Sometimes I use larger jars, it just depends. I'm going to add 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, and then I'm going to put just a big like spoonful of my active starter into this jar. And then I'm gonna stir it up. It should be nice and thick. You want a really nice and thick sourdough starter that's gonna give you the best rises, just the best outcome in your breads. So again, a maintenance feed, meaning it's out on the counter. I'm not using it today, but maybe I'm gonna use it tomorrow, so I don't wanna put it in the fridge. You're just gonna do a maintenance feed on it. Again, this is what I like to do. 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, mix that up here, and then just a big old scoop of the active starter. Now, mix that all up. You can kind of cover it loosely, set it on your counter, and you should notice that within like 12 hours or so, again, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, it's going to rise for you. And that will be what you use to make your leaven or whatever it is that you're gonna do the next day, or whatever you're gonna do it. If you're not gonna bake with it the next day, but you just wanna keep it out on the counter, then you'll feed it again, the same exact way the next day. But I like to use clean jars each time. Not everybody does this, so if this has my starter in it, then I'm going to grab a clean jar, 50 grams of water, 50 grams of flour, a big, huge spoonful of this, mix it all around, make sure it's nice and thick. And then now here's my starter. So after you've taken, this is our new like starter mixture that's gonna sit out on the counter, you're gonna have something that's called discard, which is just extra sourdough starter basically. Some people will just toss it, but there are so many recipes that you can make with sourdough discard, so a lot of people like to save it. So what I like to do is I keep a discard jar. It's pretty big. I think it's a gallon. I got it from Azure Standard, but it's like a short and fat gallon. Keep it in my refrigerator at all times, and I just add to it whenever I have discard. So if this is what's left over, I already took my big spoonful out and put it in here, and I have all this left over, then I would take my jar out of the refrigerator and pour this into the discard jar, put the lid back on it, and stick it back in the fridge. And then whenever I wanna make sourdough discard pizzas or crackers or all these things that you can do with sourdough discard, I have it. I have a supply of it whenever I need it. So that is what sourdough discard is. It's really great to have on hand, like I said, for different recipes and things. Another thing that kind of confuses people is what's the difference between a starter and leaven and that sort of a thing. So I thought I would just briefly explain to you the difference in the two and how they actually are very similar. But so let's pretend that we have our starter here. So we have the water and the flour and the starter here, and it's all bubbly and looking great, and it's nice and active. We would call that an active starter. So from here, you're not gonna take all of this and put this into your sourdough bread recipe, because then you wouldn't have any more starter, right? You need some left over to be able to continue feeding it and have your active starter. So what you actually do is you create something called a leaven, which is just another starter essentially. Many recipes will give you the exact amounts that you need. So in my recipes in my books or courses and things, I tell you exactly how much leaven you're going to use. So what that would look like is I have my starter here. This is my active bubbly starter. I'm gonna grab a new jar, probably a larger one than this. This is actually a leaven that I'm gonna be using today. So you can see it is larger. So probably a larger jar. And then you're just gonna follow whatever it says. This many grams of flour, this many grams of water, this many grams of active starter. Here's our active starter. We're putting it in there. We have leftover of this. So this is what you use to maintain your main starter, like the main starter that you're gonna either keep on your counter or put into your fridge. And then this becomes our leaven, which we're gonna use in most cases, all of it in our bake. So this is going to, so you set it on the counter, wait for it to peak, which means it's gonna get to its highest. You're gonna see so many bubbles inside of it. I don't know if you can see this one, but there's tons of bubbles. It probably was a little bit higher this morning, so it started to fall a little bit. But once it peaks, it is ready to use and ready to leaven your bread. That's why it's called leaven, so it'll give you a nice risen loaf. All right, I hope that information is helpful. If you have questions, you can definitely let me know. If you're in my freshly milled bread course, you are over in the Facebook group. Hopefully you can definitely reach out to me on there. That's a nice, easy way to get a hold of me. But you can also leave comments down below and I'll get to the ones that I can if you have any questions about it. But again, I hope it was helpful and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.